Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build part 2 of this fantastic recreation of the Byodo-In Temple. Now if you haven't already, make sure you do check out part 1, which is available on the channel. I'll throw a card in the video now, but now let's get building. These are the materials that you'll need, and this includes everything both for the first part and this part of the video. First thing that we're going to do is lay out the position for the pillars. So we'll start by coming to the stone section and counting across 4. Then we're going to count in 3, and on the 4th block we're going to place a stripped acacia log here. Now in each of these directions we're going to add 5 blocks. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block we'll place 1 there. And the same on this side going out this direction. So we've got 5 gap in between each one. Now we're going to, on both sides, leave 3 gaps and then place an extra 1, 3 gaps and place an extra 1. For this, that will bring us right to the edge of the build. So you should, if you've counted out correctly on your platform, have 3 gaps here. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to leave a gap of 5 across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place it there. So again, you should have a 3 gap here, and mirror this all the way around. So we're going to bring it down here, then we're going to turn this corner and just bring these out along like so. Once you've got your L shape done, we're going to add 1 final set on the side that has the main building on there. So we're going to go out 3 and place 1 here and 1 here, and those are your final blocks. Now we've laid this out on both sides, as you can see over there. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this 7x7 gap, so just this one in this back corner, and each of these we're going to take up to a total of 12 high. Once we've done that, we're going to take up all of the other pillars to a height of 10 high. Now all the pillars are in place, we're going to start adding some of the cross beams. So we're going to come to the front of the build and we're going to go up to the 3rd block, and then at the top of that block we are going to place a line of the acacia slabs. We're then going to come up to the next block, so the 4th block, and then do another one. So there should be half a block's gap in between the two, and this one should finish off at that top block. So we're going to do that all the way around this build, just around the outside though, not on the connecting bits on the interior, just around all of the edges. We're now going to add the last set of the cross beams, and what we're going to do is we're going to come next to this 5 wide gap, and we're going to start by placing some of the cross beams across just at the top block so that there is only half a block beneath it. We'll do this for these 3 sections and then this section here. We're then going to skip this section so you can get in, and we're going to carry on going along towards the main building. We're also going to skip the last section on both sides and come back parallel with this on the other side. And what we're going to do here is simply bring this all the way to the back like so. So you've got 1 gap here, you've got 1 gap here, and you've got this open section at the end. Now repeat that on both the sides. With all of those cross beams done, we are going to come to the center at the front, and we're going to place a stripped acacia log with a stripped acacia wood on top. We're going to do the same all the way around the outside of this with all of the gaps and place it like this. We need the wood on top because it is going to be visible from above. Then once we've done that all the way around, we are going to fill the gaps in either side with some of the white concrete. Now that's going to go all the way around the edge. In the middle, what we're going to do is we're going to take some more of the stripped acacia logs, and we're going to just connect up at the same level as the top of this across these cross beams here, just on the inside, right the way through the build. So yeah, connect all of these up, fill in all of the gaps with the logs and the concrete. Now we're going to add the balcony and the flooring, and we're going to do this using some acacia stairs. So for these small pillars, the ones that don't go all the way around to the ground, we are going to just place an acacia stair like this. For any of the pillars that go all the way around to the ground, we're going to have a pillar completely surrounded with all of the sides bending into each other like that. So where we've got something like this, it would be a stair there, and then we would put these stairs leading in like so. And we're going to do this all the way around the build itself, and that gives us a good platform to start building from. For the next detail, we are going to go to each of these small sections and put an acacia slab underneath the stairs that we've got. Then we're going to, on the big pillars that go right the way to the ground, we're going to be using a full stair like this, but not putting any on the corners. Like so, right the way around the build. The other thing that we're going to do on these is actually put another stair in front, so you've got this little gap that you can see through on there, and this is just for the big pillars. And what this does is it brings us out to the right distance, which is 2 blocks from these pillars, for the walkway, and we are then going to just fill all of the rest of these blocks in with the slabs in order to bring it out so it's 2 blocks all the way around from the top, but you've got this nice detailing underneath. And we're also using the top slabs, going to be filling in the inside of these areas so that we've got a full platform right the way across the build that extends 2 blocks out on every side. We're going to add some acacia fence around the build now. So we're going to come to the corner, and every time there's a corner or a pillar, then we're going to add an acacia fence, and that's going to go right the way round. So where we've got this corner, we're going to have an acacia fence there. Where we've also got these 5 wide gaps, we're going to put just an extra one in the middle just to break it up. And then in between all of them, we're going to link them up with some of the acacia fence gates. The next step, once we've done that all the way round, is we're going to come into the build, and just on this internal section, we're going to run some of the stripped acacia logs level with the top of the other logs here, and this will give us a 3 high gap that we can walk underneath. We're going to do some further cross beams, and these are going to be just beneath this, so this is going to be 2.5 blocks gap, like so, and this is going to go again right the way round the build. And when we've done this, we are going to start adding some more of the detail on top. So on this end and the end that's closest to the building here, we're going to put a single block in the middle and then fill it in with the white concrete, exactly like we have done beneath. And the same with these all of the 3 wide gaps. We're going to fill these in like so. And like so. With these, it doesn't matter that you've just got the edge of the logs in there, because it's not going to be visible. However, when we come to this section, what we're actually going to do is a little bit different. Rather than putting one in the middle, we are going to put a couple of the blocks here, a couple here to bring it up to this height, and then we're going to finish it off with the wood. We will also just want to change these top blocks out with the wood as well, because all of this will be visible from the balcony above here, just this bit there. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're also going to do the same on this side, so we're going to put a single block of the acacia and then some wood, and then the same on this side, and we would do that side as well. Then in between these, we're just going to fill them up with the white concrete like so. And once we've done that all the way round, and this is going to be 3 high with the concrete, then we're ready to start the next balcony and start thinking about the roof. We're now going to add in the gables and the peaks for the roofs. And what we're going to do is first make a slight adjustment here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to match that pattern that we have with some of the concrete in the middle and the 2 acacia blocks. And we're going to do that because we're actually going to build these 2 acacia blocks up and then add an extra block of concrete in the middle. And we'll do that on both of the sides. What we're then going to do is take a line of the stripped acacia logs coming through to this point, and then we're going to go out 2 further blocks like this. So that will give us the roof level, and we'll do the same over here for the entire build. And again, that comes out 2 level, and that should just be level then with the balcony beneath. And we'll switch this out as we have done, and that then gives us now everything that we need to start building up the roof against this section here. In order to put the roof on, we need to just add a balcony around this section. So firstly, we're going to place some of the acacia planks next to this stripped acacia logs that we've got coming out of that. Then on each of the uprights here, we're going to go all the way around the build, and we're going to place some of the upside down acacia stairs. We're going to do that on every block. Now, on all of the gaps that we've got there, we are then going to fill those in with some acacia slabs, and that is going to give us our full balcony all the way around. Now we're going to add a floor to this tower section, and what we're going to do is we'll just come inside the build, we'll take out these 2 concrete blocks, and we're just going to link this up using some of the stripped acacia. In all the rest of the spaces, what we're going to do is we're just going to place some acacia slabs. So we're going to do that here, and we're going to do that on the other side as well. The first stage of the roof is going to be building the andesite apex. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a line of andesite right the way across on top of this stripped acacia, right the way to the end here, and then we're going to place a polished andesite at the end with an andesite wall on top and an andesite stair facing into that. And this is going to be starting just off the edge of the platform, so the first block after that. We're going to do the same on this part of the roof for the front here, again with an andesite and with the polished andesite on the end, andesite wall and stairs going into this. Now, similar to the section that we did on the roof here, we've got this raised section that's going to go over the top of the black stone, and we're going to build that by firstly placing an andesite block here with a slab on top. Then on this we're going to place another of the concrete, so we've actually got 2 of the concrete with a slab just here. Then we're going to have a full andesite block here. Then we're going to place a temporary block and a polished andesite on top here. On top of that temporary block we're going to place a stair. And we're also then going to place a wall like we have, and then we can just get rid of this block, pop, just like that. So you do that not on the 2 bits that are closest to the main section, because the roof carries all the way along there, but on the front side, on this side, you're going to replicate it on the other side and on the other side of the build that we have over here. With that mirrored on both sides of the build now, as you can see over there, what we're going to do is we're going to add the blackstone section. So firstly we're going to start by placing some stairs, and these are the polished blackstone brick stairs, which is a real mouthful but a lovely looking block. Then we're going to have 2 lines of the slabs there. Then under here we're going to place a slab and then bring that across like so. Then at the bottom of this polished andesite we're going to have another set of slabs coming out. So these come out 3 blocks from the edge and line up with that polished andesite on the end. And then we're going to line this up across here and go right the way round this like so. So this is then going to start connecting up with this portion of the roof. Now on here we're going to do exactly the same. So we've got the stairs going all the way along there, and those will meet up with that acacia. We've then got the 2 sets of slabs coming right the way across here, and the benefit of this is that because we've got the slab there, it looks nice and you get a nice bit of detail coming through on that edge block, and this equally comes out through and matches up with this pillar here, and then we'll carry out this way, and we do the same obviously on this side. Now in this corner what we are going to do is just a little bit different. We're going to have I nearly said acacia there, an andesite slab on that bit, and bring the blackstone in like so, which will then carry on not a full block, obviously, a slab, and then bring this across. When we get to this point we are again going to have another andesite slab like so. So we've got this nice bit stepping down with the andesite on this corner section just to differentiate the 2 parts of the roof. We'll finish that off here with another andesite slab like so. So what you'll have is this lovely roof section. Obviously flip it over, mirror it on the other side. On the other side, of course, when you get to the edge bit here, you will just carry on stepping down like this and carrying on around the side of the roof. And on this corner we're going to do a very similar thing. For those last few blocks we're just going to step them out using the andesite on the corners there, and then we've got we'll just do it very quickly to show you. We've got the 2 extra blocks that will come out here like so, because these are the ones that will line up with that andesite. So we do exactly the same thing with the slab here and then with the slab here. So this is how it will look on this particular section of roof on the corner. So you've just got the andesite coming out on the corner, and then it'll just carry on exactly like we've done this. So fill in the roof sections and I'll show you what that all looks like. The one other thing just to note is when you get to this long section by the main part of the build, obviously we're not going to place the white concrete here because that would take it up one block too high, as you'll see, like so, and then it would be visible. So what we're just going to do there is place a full block of the black stone before carrying that on to the right level of the roof out the front here. With all of those roofs in place and the build really starting to come together, then we're going to deal with the underside. So this underside that we're going to do here, we replicate exactly the same on the one that's next to the build and on both the ones on the other side as well. So once you've done this, you'll actually do this same thing 4 times. So the first thing that we're going to do is place an upside down stair in this gap underneath the polished andesite. Then we're going to come in here and place an upside down stair here, and then as we have done before, we're going to take the jungle trapdoor. Now we're going to go back to our stairs. So the acacia stairs are going to go here and here on this upright for the acacia. Then we're going to place 2 on either of these sides like this. Then we're also going to place 1 here and 1 here for now, and we'll deal with the side parts in a second. The other thing we're going to do is put some acacia slabs just beneath there. Now what we will want to do at this point is just fill in a couple of the blocks. So we're going to fill in this block with a slab, or you can replace it with a full block if you like, and also bring one out there. And I've already done the first bit of that side and put one there, because we're now going to go to the acacia trapdoors and place an acacia trapdoor in this corner, an acacia trapdoor in this corner, then there's going to be 1 here, 1 here, and then the same on the other side. So that gives us the pattern that we want for this roof. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of lighting in here. So we're going to place a couple of lanterns either side of the jungle trapdoor. And then the next place that we're going to place some lanterns is just down here on the edge, the first of the 2 edge blocks like that. The final thing we're going to do whilst we're here is we're going to take some acacia signs, and we're going to place some acacia signs just in on these spaces where we can. So there's going to be 4. There's going to be 1 in just this little hole that we've got here, and then 3 going across there. So we're going to repeat exactly this on all the other ends underneath these roof parts. With the ends done, we're going to add detail around the rest of the build now. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to all of these uprights right the way along and round all of the sides, and every time there's an upright, we're going to put at the top there a upside down stair. Now in front of the upside down stair, we're going to place an acacia trapdoor like so, and then next to the acacia trapdoor on each side, we're going to place one of these slabs like this. So that's going to take us right the way across, and obviously it'll be the same on this side with an acacia trapdoor and then a slab next to that on both sides, and carrying on right the way round. Now on this corner block here at the back corner, we're going to place a lantern there, so we don't worry about that one. But each of the rest of these where we've got this gap, we're going to place ourselves 2 of these trapdoors like so, and then fill in that gap. So basically what we've got is we've got a slab trapdoor going right the way across the build. So anywhere where we haven't yet got these trapdoors, we'll bring those out like this, and that gives us the detailing for the side of the build here, and that carries on, like I say, all the way around the build. At this stage, what we're also going to be doing is we're going to be adding some railings to this top section. So first thing first, we're going to put some of the fences in the corner. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of fences here and here, just level with these edge sections. And then we're going to fill these in with some of the fence gates. So I'll show you again on this side. So you've got a fence, 2 fence gates, and then another fence gate in the middle, and then a fence and 2 more fence gates coming through to the edge, and we'll do that all the way around here. The last thing that we're going to do at this stage is we are going to start placing some of the birch signs on, and we're going to place the signs all the way around all of the available rocks that we can on this balcony, and we're also going to do the same on this balcony here. So a lot of birch signs and a lot of birch sign placing, but definitely worth it to get all of these in place. With those signs going across, the other thing we're going to do is on this bottom stair, we are also just going around here on all of the uprights, going to place ourselves a birch sign like this, just as another bit of end detailing. So yeah, just down there on each of those, and then we're going to have obviously all of the signs going across here, the detailing going under the roof, and the signs and barrier going around this section. The one other thing that you'll find when you get around the build is when you come to this corner, where obviously you can't place a sign on both of these blocks. So what we're going to do instead with these is simply we're going to replace them with some of the birch planks like so, and then on this corner as well we're just going to place a lantern just above that. Next we're going to build the little towers that we've got here. So what we're going to do is come down to this platform, and not on these concrete or these acacia blocks, but just one inside, we're going to place out our 4 corners, and these corners are going to go up a total of 5 blocks, so they're going to come up to this height on all sides. Now around these, after 2 blocks, we're going to have a crossbeam, then we're going to have an extra crossbeam at the at this point here, so at the 5 blocks part. Then on top, if I just grab this concrete, we're going to fill this gap in. And so this is going to be repeated all the way around. I'll just show you on the one side here. And here we've got something slightly different. We can actually be using some of the quartz stairs. So we've only got a little bit of quartz on this, but the quartz stairs go here. We're going to have an acacia door in here. And then we're going to use some warped trapdoors to just fill up some little windows in this. So yeah, we're going to continue this all the way around. And we're also going to build the same on the other side of the build as well. On these towers, we're going to now add some details, and the first one we're going to do is just here on the 2 far sides, so the side and the back. We're just going to place some of the acacia signs in the gap just to break up these white sections a little bit and just add some detail. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place on the top block here a set of the stairs going right the way around the corner like so. So we've got 5 stairs in a row just curving around the corner. Then we're actually going to do exactly the same right beneath. So having it so we've got this detail here curving round on both the sides. So I'll just do this side as well, and with the 2 sets of stairs going into it, and then the corners and the other stairs as well. So looking at this side, this is what it'll look like from all of the sides. We're also at this stage going to fill in with a little roof on this, a little ceiling. And there's 2 things that we'll need to do with this ceiling once we've done. So the first one is we'll just place a lantern on top there because we're going to build the roof over the top, and we don't want that to have a void for any nasty spawning. And then equally we come inside here, we place another slab here, so we can place this lantern, and that lights up the entire of the build here as well. We're then going to also just finally place a lantern on each of these corner blocks there. So that is the next stage that we're going to do. So finish that on here and finish that on the other side as well. To start building the roof, the first thing we're going to do is come to the top here, and we're going to place an andesite block on each of these corners. On top of the andesite block, we're going to place a slab. So we've got 1.5 blocks height there. In between, we will simply just add in some of the blackstone, the polished blackstone bricks there. Then on top here, we are going to then start coming up another level, and we're going to do that by placing 2 andesite here, 2 andesite here, here, and here. Next to that, what we're going to do is we're going to place some, wrong way up, first time in ages, some right way upstairs in these gaps. Like so, all the way around. I'll just finish off the last one. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to start stepping down. So this is again going to come out level like this. On the corner here, we're going to have a full block. So as we have done previously, we've got these andesite blocks just a little bit taller than the blackstone. And we're going to do the same on this side. Obviously repeat this all the way around, and then we're going to just bring next of all this out level and across like this, and here we're going to place an andesite slab with another one on top, and that gives us the raised bit that we're going. Now we're going to keep this going right the way out to the edge here, going down 1/2 block each time. So we will need to place some temporary blocks, and what we're going to do is we will place an andesite block here to give us something to place against, and then place that block. Then we can get rid of this and then pop that in the right place like so, and that means that we've now got this that we can place right the way against. And here we're going to be placing another full andesite like this. And the last line we've got, just again, as you can see, just make sure you bring it so it lines up here. We'll just place a temporary block, doesn't matter what it is, could be dirt, could be anything, and then bring that across like so. And once we've done that, we will be making a slight change to this build, because we're going to leave the corners off on this last bit, because we are going to add these flick ups to the build now. But go and complete that all the way around first of all. With these basics in place, we're going to finish off the roof. And how we're going to do this is we're going to replace these 2 edge blocks with 2 that are slightly higher on each side. And I'll show you with one corner, and then you can do it on the rest of the corners. What we're also going to do is, using a temporary block here, we are going to actually just place a block there, which allows us to place one there. And so you actually can see it lifts up slightly to this block here. On top of it, we're going to place a wall like so. We're actually going to take that one out and place another wall just like this. So that's what it's going to look like on one side. I'll just very quickly show you on another side. So we'll take those 2 out, place them half a block higher. Then, using a temporary block, get the andesite in the right place. Put the block back in place, and then a wall there and a wall there. The other main thing that we're going to do now is, on top of each of these stairs, we're going to place another stair, but these are going to be the birch stairs now. And in the middle, we're just going to put a piece of birch planks there as well. So we'll do that detail around all of the corners, and then we will deal with the eaves underneath the roof. For the detailing under the roof, we're going to start by placing a lantern directly above the door with an open acacia fence gate right in front of that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take some buttons, and we're going to place some buttons not on the doorway, but all of the blocks either side of it. So that would go right the way around the build like so. Now we're going to take an acacia slab, and just on the block here, not directly in front, but just butting up against this edge black stone, we're going to place that on the roof. Then we're going to start placing some stairs. So the stairs go right the way up until you hit that acacia slab, yeah. Then we're going to place them on the other side as well, so it will look like that. And the next thing that we're going to do is add some detail to the side. So we're going to place a lantern here, and then against the lantern we're going to take a birch sign, and we're going to put a birch sign on the 2 sides. So that gives just a slightly different lamp type effect there. And of course we're going to continue this same pattern all the way around. The last thing that we're going to do is we are going to place ourselves some of the acacia trapdoors, and those are going to go every other block from the andesite itself right the way through to the andesite on the other side. So fill that in on all of the sides. Now we're just onto the finishing touches of each of these buildings before we do the finishing touches on the center building here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build these little baubles from the top, and that is just a sandstone wall with a piece of glowstone on top. Then surrounding that we have some fence gates. These are the oak fence gates that we're going to open into this. Then on top we've got a birch pressure plate, and then we've got some birch signs that are going to go all the way around the edge like so, and that is how you do the detail for this particular bit. Then the other things that we're going to start doing are we're going to get ourselves some acacia signs, and we're going to place the acacia signs through on the interior on this bottom level where we have got these gaps between the blocks. So just again adding some detail here. This will go all the way around the edge, lining up with the stuff that we've already done at the front here, and make sure that it's filled out for the rest of the build all the way around. When you get to this corner, of course, you can't put them on both these sides, so again, if you want, you can just chuck a slab in there. But yeah, carry that on for the rest of the way around the build. And the only other thing we're going to be doing at this stage is adding some lights. So we're going to take some lanterns, and against each of these pillars on all of these cross beams that we've got, the very lowest ones, we're just going to place some of these lanterns. So place those all the way around, place your signs all the way around, and put your baubles on top. The last thing to do before we move on back to the center building, just to give that the finishing touches, is to come inside the build. And at the moment, you'll notice there's no way to get from the bottom to the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to build some stairs all the way up here, right the way up to this block here, and then we're going to knock this out, and we're going to place ourselves a trapdoor in just like that. And because you can climb up the trapdoors, that means that you can get right the way up to this top section. Then to get into this section here, what we're going to do is we are going to create ourselves a little ladder way going up. So if we pick this side, we're going to complete that block there. And then coming around to this side, we're going to use a trick where we just place the trapdoors coming down like so. And we've got the trapdoors going all the way down. And then you can place the last trapdoor on the floor like this. And then shift clicking, you can place some ladders against there. And then when we come up and knock this block out, then we can use another trapdoor, and that gets us up into this little top section. So that's what gives you access to all of the different levels. Now in here, there are going to be some dark patches. So what we need to do is we just need to add ourselves in some lighting. And we're going to do that by adding a couple of lanterns hanging down. So firstly, we're going to add a chain and a lantern here. We're going to add one with a chain and a lantern in the middle of this section. And then we just want to add some onto these side sections as well. So what we'll need to do for those is we just need to grab ourselves an extra blackstone block. And we can just place ourselves, oh, that's just going to be the lantern directly there on both of these sides. So where you've got these large uprights, again, just place the lanterns on the top section here. So if we do that on the underside here as well, just like so, and this one is the one with the chain. Again, if you wanted to put them in different places, you could, but yeah, this is just one option that gives you, that should, touch wood, give you enough lighting to get the build safe for you at least. And then it looks quite nice from the outside. Now working down here to this section, again, what we want to do is start placing some hanging lanterns. So we'll place a lantern on a chain just here, and we'll do the same on each of these cross beams. So yeah, just finish off yourself by lighting up the build, and then we'll move back to the middle of the build and finish off the section there. Back to finish off this middle section now. Firstly, we're going to come to this little outcrop and we're going to place an andesite wall. On top of that, we're going to place a lantern, and on top of that, we're going to place a polished andesite slab. Now on here, we're going to place some jungle trapdoors, and we are going to then close all of these jungle trapdoors right the way around, and that gives us a lovely little standing lamp. Behind that, what we're going to do is we're going to start building a staircase. So we're going to be doing that by placing 2 of the polished andesite blocks here. In the middle, we're going to take some of the andesite stairs, and that's going to be the way that we're actually going to get up. And then we're going to place some polished andesite stairs just in front of that, with a lamp on the front, on the top, just like so. Now we're going to do exactly the same, but on a slightly smaller scale at the sides. So we've got the blocks here, parallel with these uprights, with the polished andesite stairs on those, and the regular andesite in the middle, and then the lantern on top. So we'll do that as well on the other side of the build, and that gives us 3 little stairways up to this main portion. Much like the detailing with these balls on the top of the towers we've just built, there's also some detailing that goes on the ridge of this main roof bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to make this a full block temporarily, and that is so that we can take our birch stairs and we can place an upside down birch stair. We can then replace that again with our andesite slab, and on top of that slab we're going to place a birch slab. On top of the upside down stair, we're going to place ourselves a lantern. And on either side of this lantern, we're going to place some signs. We're then going to place some further signs going round the bottom on the stairs as well itself. And that gives us the detail. And we're going to repeat that on the other side, but facing out the other direction. Now we're going to start working on this main hall. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start adding some doors here. And for this, I'll just show you on one side. What we're going to do is we're going to bring some of these acacia trapdoors and take them right the way up as high as we can on the ceiling here, and we're going to close all of these doors, which will give us a nice, not place anymore, a nice flat surface, because on that flat surface we are going to start placing some banners. And these banners are just a variation on some designs from my 10 Japanese banners that you need video, so make sure you check that out to find out how to build these. We're going to be putting these on both the sides, so we're going to do the same on the other side, but not including the second and last block. So the lowest 2 blocks don't have them, but the top blocks above it do. So put all of those in place. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some oak trapdoors. Now the trapdoors that we want to add are going to be hanging from the ceiling, and they're going to be in a particular pattern. So what we're going to do is just going to place all of them just because it's easier to show the pattern. So if I head up here, what we're going to do is we're going to place these all the way across the ceiling, and then we are going to start, let's just close those because it's easier. We're going to come down by 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 levels of these. Now the majority of them are literally just going to be closed like this. So let's just get those all done. But once we've got those closed, we're actually going to take some out. We're going to take out a cross shape just here. So that gives us a cross shape in the top, just like that. Now, before we work on the next bit, there's an optional step that you can have. So obviously, with this now in place, you can't actually get through very easily. So if you want to take out some of these and place yourself some of the doors, wrong side, I was in the right place there, just so that you can actually get in and out of this area, then it's probably now's a good time to do that, because that just gives you, like I say, a bit more access to the outside. And you can do that here, anywhere along this line. You won't really notice it because it'll mix in with the trapdoors itself. So what we're going to do is get some jungle trapdoors now, and the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to come up to the third of these trapdoors up, and we're going to place a line of these coming through here. Now this is going to be at the top of the block, so technically we could put something on the top of those. We're then going to come out with 2 more like this, and this is going to be like a hanging balcony. Now what we're going to do onto this first row is we're going to come and place another line, then another line, and then one final line of these on top of those, and we're going to close them. So what we're going to have is this shutter type design. So in theory, this is a shutter that could close down over this side portion. Then to connect this up, we are going to remember to shift click first and foremost, and then we're going to bring this up here and just connect this up to the edge there. And we'll need to add that as a full block. We're going to do the same for this section, again remembering to shift click and bring those up, and this time they will go up, and this is why we've built this crossbeam in here, so these will line up with the crossbeam. So link these ones up to the top, do the same on the other side here, and at this point as well, just to give yourself some light, you might want to just add some lanterns on this section here, if I can do that without destroying the whole place. So yeah, just add some lanterns across, level with these ladders, and then on the corners as well. Now, despite the fact that nothing can spawn in here, it does look a bit dingy, so we're going to add some lights. And the first thing we're going to do for these lights is use some jungle trapdoors, then shift clicking, we're going to hang a lantern on this block here. We're next going to do one just here, next to the top of the jungle trapdoors there, and again with a lantern. And then one in this corner here, like so. Then one here on this block, and then doing the same on the other side and round. Now we're also going to add some other lamps or lights. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add an additional block to either of these sides, and then we're just going to run some chains that are going to go, and placing chains is a right pain, right the way down. So we've got, again, errand chain there, bring that down one more block, and then have a lantern hanging just down here, and we'll do that on both the sides again, like so. Now the one other thing we're going to do on this stage is we're going to add some additional paneling to this wall. Now where we've got the barrels here, what we're going to do is we're going to place some of the spruce trapdoors, and we're literally going to create a wall of these spruce trapdoors, and this is going to go up parallel with the barrels like so, and then we're just going to close all of these and make sure not to close those windows as well. Bring those in line, and that gives us a lovely pattern that we're looking for right the way around the back of the build. So we're going to do that on the other side. We're going to finish the lighting, and then I'm going to show you how to do the suspended roof. The first thing we're going to do up at this roof level, because it's a bit dingy, is add some lighting. So the first lighting we'll add is on these two cross beams. Then we're going to add some lights directly beneath those on either direction, so on the front and the back of the build. Then we'll add one at either end of this main long pillar. The last places we're going to put them is just in the corners here, so the four corners of the build there. Now that's a much lighter place. Now what we need to do is come to the middle of this cross beam. We're going to place ourselves a chain. We're then going to come behind that in the build, and we're going to place two more of the acacia slabs to make these full blocks, and then two on either side. We're going to add some more chains to this, and then we're going to add some more lanterns just like so, and this is going to give us the basis for what we're going to be building. Now coming down beneath that and shift clicking any orientation, because we're using oak trapdoors, we're going to create a cross, and then we're going to fill this cross in so it's a little bit bigger. And again, it doesn't matter about the orientation, but you might want to keep them all the same direction. And around the edge of this, we are then going to surround it with some jungle trapdoors. So we've got this two-tone look with the different, and again you'll need to shift click so you don't accidentally open the trapdoors themselves. And just, yeah, we continue that all the way around the build, all the way around this section at least. For the next section of the hanging roof, we're going to add some more supports. So as you can see, we're just at the front of this here, and just leaving one block gap from the edge, we're going to add two more of the acacia slabs with two chains on there like so. We're then going to come back level here level with the existing chains that we've got there and add two more, and then we're going to skip a block and add two more, and this gives us all of the supports that we need to make it look like the roof isn't just floating of its own accord. Now comes the slightly tricky bit. So we have to build a large dark oak pattern that is going to come in here from there and come out two blocks on each of these directions. So you can use the top of this and come out two blocks here, and if we can place them, fantastic, two blocks there, and finally two blocks at the front as well. Shift clicking just to make sure that we can place it. Now we don't actually need to shift click, we do at that point. So this is then going to come out as a square, so we're going to fill all of these in, including into these corners just like so. And yeah, this is going to then be visible just as that edging that's going to go all the right way around. So fill this out as a full square so it extends one block past this. With this big square in place, the final step is for us to just, again, shift clicking, just add, not that, but up here, a line of the jungle trapdoors going right the way around the edge. Now the thing with these jungle trapdoors is we're not going to leave them like this, we're then going to pop all of them down. So this kind of links the two sections together because you've got the depth and then these two seemingly at the same direction. So put these all the way around. Again, the ones here a little bit fiddly, but you can do them if you just make sure that you get close into the wall. So now we're going to work on the main part of the interior, which is the giant Buddha statue, and this is based on the interior of the actual build in Japan and also the reproduction in Hawaii. So first things first, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take out some of these slabs, and we're going to need to take out a box of these slabs right the way through. So we've got a 3 gap here, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace all of these with being careful not to activate the UI, of course, with some smithing tables because they've got this lovely top and the right colour red on the side. So we'll do that, like I say, between these pillars and to 3 full blocks from the front, and just make an entire floor of these smithing tables. With the platform in place, we're going to add a little bit more detail around before actually tackling the Buddha. So we're going to take out the 3 center blocks here. We're going to place 3 of the polished black stone there, a polished black stone on each side, and then a chiseled black stone in the middle there. On top of that, we're going to place 2 plant pots, 1 on either side, with a lantern in the middle, and in each of these we'll put a blue orchid. Now we're going to add some more, so we're going to add 1 here with a chiseled black stone on top, 1 here with a chiseled black stone on top as well, which you may want to move your doors. I've put some in here as well if you did put some doors in, and each of these on the sides has a lantern in place just to add a little bit of lighting, and just replicate that on the other side as well. The plinth for the Buddha is going to be built out of some polished granite, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to place some of this in here like so, making sure not to again get the UI, and I will show you the shape that we're going for in a second. What we're going to do is have 2 wide that way, so what we've built is 3 by 4, and then with 2 extra bits on the sides like so. What we're then going to do with the stairs is upside down all the way around. We're going to be making this pattern where each of these connect together and give us a really nice plinth look, and we'll do that all the way around, just making sure we change the direction of the stairs every so often, and it links around beautifully. The first thing for this Buddha design is we're going to place a large teardrop pattern made out of some of the trapdoors behind the Buddha itself. In order to make this easier, what we're going to do is firstly we're going to place a couple of temporary blocks. So we're going to place an L shape of temporary blocks, and it's worth noting that I've just taken these lamps out on both sides to make it easier to move back and forth and show this. And we're going to do exactly the same this side. So it goes out 2 blocks wider, but this then gives us the right amount of space to start placing the trapdoors. And the first things we're going to do are the birch trapdoors. We're going to place them like this, and then they're going to be able to open up like so. But we're going to keep them all flat for now, because that makes it easier to shift click and place the next layer. So first one, we've got 7 birch trapdoors coming across. The next line we've got all 9, including these 2 temporary blocks that we've got here. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to place 3 birch trapdoors on the ends, 2, 3, and then come up a little bit, and then fill in this gap with some oak trapdoors like so, all the way back and forth for 3 rows here. Next, we're going to come up again, and this time we're going to place 2 birch trapdoors at either end and fill in the middle with the oak trapdoors. Now we're going to come up and just place 1 at either end with the oak trapdoors in the middle. Missed one. There we go. Like so. And now we're going to come up again, and this time it's going to be 2 birch trapdoors at either end. And we're going to do that twice. So we've got 2 sets of 2 with all of the oak in the middle, and the oak should be 3 wide at this stage. Now we're getting up to the top where we're just going to bring in the teardrop shape itself, and at this point we are just going to place 5 birch, then we're going to place 3 birch in the middle, and then 1 birch here, and this takes us right the way up to the top. It should line up with the edge of this, and now we've got the fantastic task of just opening all of these trapdoors and getting rid of our temporary blocks. And once you've done that, I won't do it, I'll show you what it then looks like. This is what the finished teardrop looks like, and now we're going to start building the Buddha in front. And the Buddha is 8.5 blocks tall, and I'm going to be building him in some different slices, so yeah, just follow along. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to have a 5x2 section of the oak planks with some oak slabs just on the front block at either side. Next, we're going to go back to our oak planks, and we're going to have 3 oak planks here, and then in front of that we are going to have a smooth sandstone, and then 2 of the birch planks like so. On the ends of this, we are just going to be using some upside down oak stairs here and here. And the next level, 3rd level, we have more of the oak, and at the back we're just going to fill in the oak here, and then we're going to have a birch at the back at the end. We're then going to have 2 birch here, 2 smooth sandstone here, and lastly we are going to have an oak at this end. So we've now got 3 layers done. Moving up to the 4th layer, we're going to start building the shoulders for this. So we're going to start by taking some of the oak stairs, and we're going to go round like this on this side here, with this one curving in. And on this, we are then going to have an oak here. And actually, what we want to do in the middle is 2 more sandstone and another birch like this. We're actually going to replace this one. This should be a birch stair. There we go. So now, as you can see, we've got the shoulders and part of the torso. What we're going to start working on top of this is we're going to start the head. Now, this is a little bit tricky, and we will want some temporary blocks. So we're just going to place these. These are temporary blocks. We're just going to get rid of them shortly. We've got some birch stairs, and we want to, first of all, place an upside down birch stair in the middle, like so. Then we're going to have some stairs, and we don't need these at this point, linking into that. So you've got the curvy bits of the stairs going right the way around the back. At the front, we're going to use the smooth sandstone, and we're going to replicate exactly the same. So that then gives us basically the chin of the Buddha. 2 layers now of the birch with 2 layers of the smooth sandstone in front of that. And now we're going to go to the hair itself, and we're going to start with a birch here, and then have some birch stairs coming all the way around. And lastly, we're going to finish off with a bit of a top knot, which we have to get a birch, where is it, birch slab there, just to finish off on top, like so. So yeah, as you can see, this now gives us the Buddha face. We're now going to do the arms and legs. The next step is going to be building out the crossed legs. So we're going to start by building a 2x2 on each of these sides, with 1 in the middle. In the middle here, we're going to put an upside down oak stair, and we're going to put an upside down oak stair at either side. Then we're going to take some of the birch stairs, and we're going to bring these round like this, and we're going to bend that round so you've just got that little pattern coming through, and bring this one round here as well. Next, we're going to start with some oak stairs, and on either side of the middle block, we're going to place an oak stair out like this. And then on this side, we're also going to place an oak stair facing into that, with an oak slab just here. Now, on the outside of that, we've got an birch stair rather. So we've got the oak with the birch here. And on this side, we've got smooth sandstone here, and 2 upside down smooth sandstone stairs. Now we're going to take some oak planks and put an oak plank here and an oak plank here on both the sides, with 2 oak stairs, and these are basically making the knees of the Buddha who's sitting cross-legged. And as you can see, it's starting to go there. Then we've also got a regular, and it is important, a regular sandstone slab that we're going to place in here. To finish off the Buddha and the interior, we simply place a smooth sandstone stair here with a smooth sandstone slab there, and another regular sandstone slab on top to make the other hand. And then the other side we do the same, but this time with some oak. So an oak slab and an oak stair. And as you can see, that's the arms with the hands together. Now we're going to make the face, and that is 2 of the dark oak buttons. And we will need a block to place against, just a temporary block, so we can use then a chain as the Buddha mouth. As you can see, the Buddha just looks fantastic there. Next on the interior, and the last step, is going to be filling in some of the acacia fences right the way around this enclosure. So again, if you're placing down like this, you'll need to shift click into those benches so that you don't get the UI, and this also will go all the way around the back like so. On the corners, we are just going to place some lanterns for some extra light. Again, this place is spawn proof, apart from potentially on the Buddha, but I think most of them are stairs or slabs. I think there's a block there, but that potentially should be lit up from here anyway. So there shouldn't be any spawnable spaces on the Buddha itself, but that's the interior complete now. With the interior complete, there's just a few bits to tidy up and finish off on the exterior. So the first thing is on each of these corners that we've got here. So the 4 corners, we're going to add an extra slab that will go just on the edge here. Next, what we're going to do is in this gap just above the walkway, we are going to add some of the acacia signs going around the edge, just filling in these gaps. Again, just another nice bit of detail going round, and that's on this first balcony. Also on this first balcony, we're going to add just some lanterns going round every so often, basically just to light up the walkway itself, make sure it's spawn proof. And the very last thing is using our birch signs, similar to how we've put these on the stairs on this level. We're going to do the same here without putting any letters on, of course. Just round the edge here, all the stairs like this are going to have a birch sign just for some edge detail. And yeah, once you've done that, I will show you the finished build. So I've now moved this into my amplified Japanese world, where I showcase all of my Japanese builds in a more natural environment, and I think you'll agree it looks absolutely fantastic. I've just chucked a couple more banners on there from my 10 Japanese banners you need in your world video, and let's go and have a look inside. So as we come inside, as you'll see, this gap is set up, and this reflects the circular hole in the actual original build that shows us through to the Buddha statue. And I think this Buddha statue looks absolutely fantastic in here. So a lovely, lovely addition to any Japanese style world. And it's worth noting that this, my amplified world, is available for download, as is the flat world that I was working on before. So head over to my Discord to check that out. Also, make sure that you do check out any of the other Japanese builds that you're interested in. There's a lot of builds in this series now, and something for everybody. Not obviously all as big as this. This is probably the largest scale build that we've got, but do head over. And all that's left to be said is, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do let me know in the comments. I really do appreciate hearing your feedback and comments. It really does make my day. And yeah, if you have, do hit that like button as well. Again, that really helps on YouTube. Above all, make sure that you do subscribe so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. So all that's left to be said is thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you all next time on ADcraft. Bye.